Greetings. In this video, we'll understand and learn about a group project in the field of principles of management. So, this video is only an introduction, not details of each of the stages. So, first thing first, what this project is all about. So, the task in this project is to build an edtech startup that provides learning solutions relating to business management as its products to corporate clients. So, when we say product, we divide these products into four categories. So there have to be total four products as an outcome of this edtech startup, and that edtech startup has to offer. The product one, which comes with the instructions manual, has to be a game based product and to be played physically. It has to be designed and developed both. So when we say game based product, we mean that there exists already a game and you attach a particular principles of management concept or theory with that for the users to learn. So that becomes a game based product. For example, there could be a chess game which is already existing, and you try to attach business strategy, concept, or a theory along with it. Okay, so this is game based product. Similarly, there is product 2 which also comes with instructions manual. It is to be played physically, designed and developed both, but it is a gamified product. And when we say gamified product, it means that there is a use of game elements in a non game scenario. So you have a mundane business management process that you want the users to learn, but it is boring, it is not interesting. So what do? You make it fun. So how do you make it fun? Using game elements into it, such as having certain stages, having certain unlock, trophies, points, coins, etc. etc. So there could be different ways in which you can gamify a particular process or a concept. Product 3 has to be played virtually, and because it is virtually, so it can be only designed. So you do not really need to develop it. So on paper, you can just design it as to what are the different things that should be there in it and how it has to be played. So it is a game based product. So choose an existing game and link that game with the concept of principles of management. Similarly, a gamified product or product 4, right? But it has to be played virtually. So business management is all about planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. And thus we have divided the entire project into these three phases. In phase one, it is basically about planning, which we call survival of the fittest. Here, the evaluation will be a business process canvas presentation and four products to be voted by PhD scholars on quality of answers of their questions. So, the four products that we discussed before, these products must be ready by the time phase one evaluation happens, and these need to be presented to the PhD scholars. They will vote for or against your startup. So, based on what will they vote? They will vote based on clarity and coherence of value proposition, sustainability and scalability of revenue model, alignment and interaction of key components, product quality. These are the four parameters based on which they will vote, and what kind of questions they may ask at the minimum. So these are the basic questions. Is the value proposition clearly articulated? Does it address specific customer problems or needs, etc.? Right? So these questions are the questions that you cannot afford to neglect. These are the minimal expectation from you that you will be able to answer these questions. The phase two is basically about organizing and leading your company. That means getting your hands dirty and executing your project. So the evaluation will be based on consultation with seniors group wise. So when we say this, that means each group will be assigned to a particular set of seniors who will mentor you as to how you can really go about this project. So they will give you some tips and tricks how you can excel in this particular project. They will give you a qualitative and quantitative feedback as well. But again, as like phase one, phase two will also not be counted in your final marks. Okay, so the parameters on which they will suggest you something is leadership and team dynamics, operational efficiency and scalability, strategic vision and adaptability. So, more than just questions which you should be ready with, it is about the discussion. So, after phase two comes phase three, which is about controlling your business, and we call it taking charge. In this phase, there will be an individual level YOC of the project progress by the instructor. So each group will be asked questions by the project instructor on the progress and on the concepts. So, what are the key questions that will be asked? Financial control and cash flow management, performance metrics and KPIs, which is key performance indicators, risk management and mitigation. All these will be the key parameters, and the questions, again, as said before, these are the questions that you are expected to answer at the minimal. And then finally comes the D day, that means the day on which you'll have to prove your metal. So here the evaluation will be based on a grand exhibition of your startup and your products. So you will be given an opportunity to display your product and your startup. You need to convince the visitors that your company is worthwhile to invest in. So for that, the questions that they will be asking will be based on the previous three phases that we have discussed. But these questions may not necessarily be limited to that. Again, these are the questions that you must answer. So, what are the parameters? Quality of evidence showed and communicated for the questions asked by the visitors on startups, such as the ones relating to the previous phases. So, what is ultimately the evaluation schema? So, the schema looks like this. Phase 1 and 2, there is no evaluation that will be added in your final marks or grade. So phase 1 and 2 will not be graded. Phase 1 is only survival of the fittest, and phase 2 is mainly about improving, organizing, and leading. Phase 3 has the evaluation component that will also be counted in your final marks. So 10 marks will be given to individual level YOC of the CEO on the project progress by the instructor, and individual level marks of team members to be decided by the CEO. So here CEO has certain power to decide as to what should be the marks of the members. However, CEO must make sure that he or she consults with the team members as to what marks they are receiving. So it is the duty of the CEO to convince the team members that they deserve this much. So CEO has to make a record of whatever they have done thus far. When it comes to group level marks, these are divided into two parts. On the D day, 20 marks based on visitors' startup ratings. That means only and only about your startup, how impressive it was. And the second is only and only about the product. So I hope the project work is clear. Thank you.